Okay, we have another quarterfinal battle between. I'm not even going to try to pronounce whatever this showdown name is. Kokusho versus DSkinner. Ben, what can we expect?
Well, DSkinner used Trick Room last week, and I think he's probably going to go for it again. It worked pretty well for him. Most people look at his team, they see the Gyarados, and they think that that's the main threat. But in the right circumstances, Marowak can be just as deadly.
Off the top shelf, we have Formula for Death joining us for commentary. Are you currently watching the game?
Oh, I'm loading. I gotta go find their showdown username.
All right. So another thing that to notice, lots of talk today about Savali Bug, which did not make an appearance, but we see Savali normal. What could that mean?
Well, it doesn't tell us what type Sovali it is until the game starts.
Oh,
The
or maybe it's
dreaded
just.
Valley normal.
Are we confident that it doesn't do that?
Because it doesn't say Sovali normal on the team preview, it just says Sovali and then it has an asterisk.
Ah, yeah. So you're talking about Trick Room. Does Kokusho have a good counter for that? Most of his mon seem pretty quick.
Early in the season, Kokusho had countered a Trick Room team by using Dusk Noir to imprison Trick Room, but we see that he hasn't brought it. So maybe he hasn't anticipated Trick Room.
Well,
Here's a question.
yeah.
If he sets up Trick Room, doesn't that kind of eliminate some of the better move sets off of the Gyarados? Like you don't get max airstream stuff. You don't get to max airstream off Zapdos Scalar either.
Imagine if there's a Trick Room game, Gyarados might get left
Get
behind.
benched, right?
Yeah.
And so if I think he's more incentivized to kind of maybe let it happen and just play without the speed control, or maybe just try to fight through it, and that way you just get saved from having to deal with the Gyarados itself. Might be one way to get through that. Because if you're in Trick Room, what's Skinner's sweeper going to be? Just the Steelix? I'd
Marowak.
imagine.
Marowak is pretty.
Marowak's okay, but I feel like
Marowak,
Marowak gets
if item
rocked
is
by a lot of the
Fish which
Pokemon here.
doubles its physical attack.
Sure, but I mean, I feel like he can pretty much double into it in a Trick Room. Maybe Marowak kills one and dies to the second one. Like, there's a lot of things he could just deal with a Dynamax Marowak, I think. I just feel like it's a lot easier to deal with the Trick Room strategy, even if he has a Trick Room up, than it is just to deal with Gyarados by itself. Thus, we saw how good Gyarados was the entire season.
Well, let's go ahead and see what happens.
Can Kokusho overcome his round 2 playoffs curse?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Wow, the commentators are not holding back their opinions. Pinky and the Brain. Now, you would have liked to see these two switch that it would be in order. Uh, clear
We had
victory.
actually planned this so that from Kokusho's perspective, it will say Pinky and then the brain in the correct order.
I have switched sides, and you
Both
are
sides.
correct.
I like it. I like it.
We are now watching this from Kokusho's point of view.
This was planned. We do see the Noivern here. We haven't seen Kokusho make much use of Noivern this season,
Yeah,
but it was something we were definitely worried about in prep.
Noivern is obviously going to be countered very hard by a Trick Room, but also, I mean, weak to Gardevoir with its Stab Fairy.
I wonder, does Pachirisu, it doesn't get something like Electroweb, right?
It does.
Hmm. I wonder if you might see some obnoxious. Oh, follow me. I hate follow me. There it is, like you guys said.
Now, something really big just happened. Taunt was just used. Um, Ben, can you give us any insight? What other moves are we expecting on Pachirisu?
At this point, I don't know if Pachirisu really is going to do anything. It's sort of done its job.
Well, yeah, I mean, is it just struggling over there, or does he have an
I
attack we
mean, it's
don't know
probably
about?
packing something like Electro Web or Nuzzle, but neither of those are particularly useful since they'll lower his opponent's speed. He'll probably just hard swap it out right here.
I think an electric move might actually just be useful enough on Noivern, right?
Yeah, I think, but I also think that fairy move might just take it out.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
We see Luxray used Ice Fang. Now, here's a switch.
It is
It
Sovali normal.
it is Savali normal. Super Fang.
Now, there's a move.
Now, uh, I guess we're expecting no slacking this game. Haven't seen wheezing or
Yeah, I'd expect the last one with these three shown has to be the Tapu Fini. Probably.
probably.
Tapu Fini is really his only answer to Steelix and Marowak with these Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could have had Wheezing instead of the Tapu in the back, but I feel like that's probably just less optimal.
Interesting that Ice Fang keeps getting used. I think it makes it pretty clear that there's probably not a Thunder Fang, or maybe he's just very nervous about a Steelix switch in or a Marowak switch in. There's that Tapu Fini that you were talking about.
Yeah. I wonder, he could have Crunch on Luxray too, which would hit, if he does have it, it would hit neutral on Gardevoir and would be super effective against the Marowak, but would be resisted against Steelix, but it would still hit it. Something like Crunch would
It
be
would be
probably a
neutral
better
on
item.
Steelix as well.
Would it be? Oh, Steel doesn't resist. Yeah, I got it.
It doesn't resist Dark anymore.
So maybe he's just not trying to do that because it would not be the greatest for a Zapdos switch in. If in theory that's randomly in the back.
Might need to be. It looks like Kokusho's going to stall out this Trick Room before Marowak even gets out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Kokusho is able to stall this out and get Gardevoir off so that there can be no more, that's a win in his book. Though he's down a Mon right now.
He is down Mon. And he's almost down 2 Mons. So
Be curious if Kokusho's looking at this game, you know, kind of as a way to figure out how he can stop this Trick Room for the next game. I think he was really expecting that taunt to be able to stop, but Follow Me drags that on over.
I am curious why the normal Silvally though. Like, is there just not a better type for him to pick?
I wonder if there is a item that he is holding that is very important. So we see Pachirisu has finally gone down. Tapu Fini, Dynamax, Noivern coming out. Frisk on
There
Noivern is
is
very nice. He's seen that there is a life orb on the brain, and he's seen that thick club that we all know.
There is still one more turn of Trick Room, so I expect Marowak to hit one of these two Pokemon very hard.
Now,
What move would you use?
yeah,
I mean,
I
it
mean, I
gets Thunder
guess
Punch, that could hit the Finny pretty hard. And it gets a Max Rockfall that could probably take out Noivern.
Hmm. There's that Max Lightning going in. Noivern not looking like it has a protect. Ooh. Beanie with that boosted. This is
so.
coming down to it. How much damage does Life Orb do?
10%.
Sturdy right here. Sturdy may have just won the game.
Yeah, Sturdy seemed to win the
Right.
game right there.
In.
Whoa! That's not
Ooh.
good.
Oh!
That is unfortunate.
How? Why is he even saying no way? You could have just used any move.
Like, did he expect something different to happen there?
I don't.
Oh no.
Any move besides your iron defense, bud.
Yeah,
Any move.
any move with that.
I mean, he's got it down to a single Pokemon that's in, like, 10% HP. Like,
I feel like my prediction of
why are we
no
saying
way, absolutely not, should have been correct.
I wonder if he was expecting Tapu Fini to go after Gardevoir. Well, on that shocking revelation, we go to game 2. All right,
Oh, my brain hurts.
what are we thinking happens in this game 2? Just in terms of just leads.
Well, we could see that the Trick Room didn't really pay off for DSkinner. Even though he got it off as planned, it didn't really work. Maybe we'll see him try and go fast with Zapdos and Gyarados.
That'd be interesting. This last game, Luxray started. Um, Zapdos is there with Defiant. That's a big boost.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna bring the Gyarados, maybe you don't actually start with it. I don't know.
Yeah, uh, with Pachirisu
'Cause-
not being out there, I mean, Luxray could do a lot of damage to both Gyarados and Zapdos.
yeah, you could maybe do a
Are
Zapdos Pachirisu start.
are we expecting a different lead out of Kokusho? I don't think his lead really worked out all that well. I think he was able
Not
to
at all.
and
The follow me seemed to thwart his opening very, very well.
something important I think Kokusho did uh, was have that frisk on Noivern, and he saw that there's a sash on Pachirisu, the life form on Gardevoir, and then the thick club, of course. So here we go.
No, same
You
start.
see Daniel going for it again.
They're both going for it again.
I think this start is kind of just average from both. Like, no innovation. We know D Skinner kind of threw the first game, but maybe he thinks, hey, I could just run it back and it works. If I just don't use Iron Defense, maybe I get there. From Kokusho's perspective, maybe you just were hoping he was going to do the Gyarados Zapdos start.
I don't know why you would lead Luxray into a Zapdos knowing you're going to give it the Defiant boost.
So you could have the plan of maybe trying to one-shot it with Noivern.
I think another possibility would just be one-shotting it with Luxray. If Gyarados and Zapdos are out there, if you have Tailwind on Noivern, and then you can have a fast Luxray, I think that would be pretty.
I think the issue with what would you use on Luxray? I mean, I'd assume you use some electric move, but that's
Yeah,
kind of negated from the Marowak
we keep
that was
thinking
possibly in the
that.
back.
I'm curious if Kokusho is just holding off on using Thunderfang, just out of fear of Marowak.
Right. So I think
I just don't think Thunderfang would give him enough damage to take out Zapdos. Maybe Gyarados because it's quad effective, but Zapdos is kind of tanky. Not extremely tanky, but
Yeah, like I
Literally
think
60 power
We
move.
see the switch out.
Not much difference here, other than the Finny.
Now, Luxray really didn't do anything there. These
not at
attack
all.
drops don't matter. We saw that Noivern gets one shot by Moonblast. What else is Noivern doing out here?
I really, really would have liked to see a turn one attacking move out of Noivern. Literally any attacking move, because you know that the follow me kind of fixes the taunt problem.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen an attacking move out of Noivern yet. We have a Dynamax Tapu Fini going in. No follow me. Oof. There is the first attacking move, and interesting.
Yeah, and I would have assumed it would have still had the Hurricane, because generally it's one of your better flying moves for Noivern,
I
which is
agree
what I
with
would
that
have
too.
assumed would kill the Zapdos. But like here, you just
So last
it just
game,
doesn't do
Max
anything.
Lightning did 62.1% from Marowak.
That could be a roll. We could also see him swap Noivern out to bring in Luxray for
And
the attack drop.
there's
Guarantee the
wow.
survival.
Yep, guarantee the survival. Is he going and he's going to be able to guarantee the kill? This is massive. What a switch here. Okay.
He just clicked an instant delete button on DSkinner's Dynamax.
Yeah, he definitely did. What can
Problem is here is
DSkinner do
you don't
from here?
live. I think
He's got to take out that Finny, but I don't know if he's got the power to do it. Especially if he clicks Iron Defense.
Ooh, an Iron Defense click would be unfortunate here. Uh,
baby doll eyes, huh?
Electro Web coming in big here.
Baby Doll Eyes really does nothing since Body Press goes off of your defense stat.
This is true.
Right.
Boy,
Maybe he
7%.
didn't actually expect the body press. Maybe he expected something else, a
I,
different move like Earthquake.
I think we're about to start expecting a lot out of Pinky over here to finish things up. Gotta.
The only attacking
He's on
moves
his
we've
own.
seen,
We've
the
seen.
only two were Electro Web and Super Fang. I don't think Electro Web's ever going to kill the Luxray.
Nope.
So you kind of.
This body press could hurt Savali pretty bad, but obviously Luxray is going to be doing some stuff. Now, Pinky's taunt has worn off. Follow me. There it is. Oh boy.
Well, that's going to be GG, boys.
The Trick Room is gone.
Trick Room is
Steelix
gone. Steelix
is a sad boy.
even with
If only it was a Dragon Dance instead of a.
he has survived an additional turn.
So we see
He
Shadow
had to
Ball and
fall out
Tri
that way.
Attack. Yeah.
Can he survive another additional turn? Can we get? We cannot get the double protect.
Okay.
And
Well,
with that, shocking set of games.
1-1. I guess it is key. We saw the. Oh, that is.
Yeah,
It is too. Oh my god. Because,
yeah.
yeah. That's. Oh man. For some reason, I just thought Skinner won the first one just because I'm so
As
shocked he
he should
didn't.
have.
Yeah. I guess we did get to see in the very end that it was Special Savali. I wonder what the item on it was.
Yeah, we'll never know. Unless they join for an interview, which we have requested.
Yeah. It is clearly not a choice item.
So, Kokusho has now joined us. The winner of a round 2 game.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. So in that first game, we see him get that Trick Room off. Were you expecting that sort of strategy?
It had crossed my mind as a possibility, um, but honestly, I expected the two for him not to bring this week was going to be Pachirisu and the Steelix, and he ended up bringing both. So he kind of
Interesting.
threw me there.
Yeah, we saw that Noivern being used in a pretty supportive way, you know, with both Frisk and the taunt. I found it interesting even going into game two, seeing that your game one start didn't go so well, but you ended up so strong that you brought the same lead.
Yeah, I thought maybe since he lost game one, he might switch it up. And the Noivern Luxray lead wasn't really meant for the Pachirisu Gardevoir lead. Um, but I thought maybe that since he lost, he would switch it up and it would be good against what he would bring.
Did you
Were you
have?
ever worried about Intimidate Luxray popping the Defiant on Zapdos?
Uh, that's why I ran it alongside the Noivern. If he ever led Zapdos, I was just going to max the Noivern. And I was calced to be able to kill even if he maxed in response the Zapdos.
Yeah, the Dynamax Hurricane does it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Dynamax and Noivern. That's a cool strat. It's usually such a frail mob that usually doesn't happen.
man. How nice was it to be able to guaranteed one shot Skinner's Dynamax both games?
that was that was very nice. I thought he was probably going to go for a max guard in the second game, uh, but yeah, he just went for it.
Yeah, that intimidate may have saved you. Game one, I had checked. He had done 62% to your Tapu Fini, and you were at 64%. So
For
in
sure,
that roll range. So that Luxray coming back in was massive.
for
Uh,
sure. Yeah.
Game one. What do you think was going through his mind on that last two turns?
The last two turns, I think he probably thought he was going to KO with the energy ball, and I think his Iron Defense play was a hedge against a potential protect to, like if I was going to protect against him, then maybe it was trying to put himself into a better position on the following turn. But yeah, it really came back to bite him when, uh, I mean, he had the kill on the board.
I think the biggest problem is even if you go for protect, if he doubles in, he loses nothing. Like he gets to just use like the following turn, assuming you protect and he just gets two attacks, right? You have to assume he's going to be able to at least kill you with guaranteed two turns of Steelix attacking moves from there and one attack from Gardevoir, right? It's just hard to see the point of clicking the Iron Defense from there.
Yeah, I think he was. Where were we in terms of Trick Room? We were out of Trick Room, so you were the fastest. I'm curious if you rolled to survive that. You live with 3% left, so
It's certainly possible. It was very close. I thought I had lost that one.
Let's see, what was the percentage game one?
that he had
Go
left.
back and look. No, that he started with
The energy ball,
before
it
he
was at
took the energy ball.
38%.
Okay, and it did 36.7% in game two. So right around that range. So it very possibly could have just been a roll.
Yep. Sometimes it'd be that way. So, uh, Kokusho, before we let you go, how are you feeling now that you're in the final four?
Well, at this point, I feel like it's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Any concern about your next matchup or a possible finals trip?
We're just gonna take it 1 week at a time.
Smart, good call.
Just excited to have made it this far.
Yeah, definitely. Well, uh, thank you for the wonderful game. Unfortunately, Daniel's got to get those kids to bed. Uh, yeah.
Thank you all.